The Blue Umbrella. Every morning, the same blue umbrella stood by the bakery door. It was quiet. It was patient. And it felt like it was waiting. Emma worked in a small bakery in a small town. She opened early. She swept the floor. She filled the shelves with warm bread. Inside, the bakery smelled sweet and soft. Outside, the street was cold and gray. Most people liked routine. They liked the same coffee, the same seat, the same morning. And Emma noticed small things. Emma had one regular customer she always remembered. Her name was Mrs. Parker. She was older, small, and careful. She wore a neat coat. She walked a little slowly. Mrs. Parker always ordered the same thing: 1 tea and 1 plain roll, nothing fancy. Then she sat at the corner table by the window and looked outside. Emma did not know her well. They were not friends. They only spoke in small words. "Good morning." "Thank you. Have a nice day." But Emma still noticed her. In a small town, you notice who belongs. One Thursday, the rain came again. It fell harder. People rushed into the bakery and shook water from their coats. Mrs. Parker arrived just after 8. She carried the blue umbrella. She closed it carefully and placed it by the door. Then she ordered her tea and her plain roll, as always. That morning became busy. Customers came at the same time. Someone asked for change. Someone dropped coins. Someone wanted a different pastry. Emma moved quickly, trying to keep up. She smiled. She apologized. She wiped the counter. When the rush slowed, Emma looked toward the corner table. Mrs. Parker was gone. The table was empty. The cup was gone. The plate was gone. Emma did not remember seeing Mrs. Parker leave. Then Emma turned back to the door. And there it was, the blue umbrella, still leaning against the wall. Emma stared at it. She will come back, she thought. People forget things sometimes. Minutes passed. The umbrella stayed. At lunchtime, Emma told her manager, Nora. Nora glanced at the umbrella and said, "Put it in the back if no one claims it." Emma nodded, but she did not move it. The umbrella felt important, not because it was special, but because it belonged to someone who never forgot. When Emma's shift ended, the rain had stopped. The street was damp and quiet. Emma put on her coat. She reached for her bag, and she looked at the umbrella again. A small worry sat in her chest. Not panic, not fear, just a question that would not leave her mind. Why did Mrs. Parker leave without it? Emma picked up the umbrella. The handle was smooth from use. It smelled faintly clean, like soap. Emma took a breath. "I will return it," she said softly, "just to be sure." Emma did not know Mrs. Parker's address, but she remembered something. Mrs. Parker once said she lived near the river. There was an old brick building there called Riverside Court. It was not far. Emma walked through the damp streets with the umbrella in her hand. Leaves stuck to the sidewalk. Cars passed slowly. The air felt cold and heavy. At Riverside Court, Emma found a list of names by the entrance. She traced the lines with her finger. Parker, June, apartment 14. Emma climbed the stairs. She reached apartment 14 and knocked. No answer. Emma waited and knocked again, gently. This time she heard movement inside, slow movement. Then the lock turned. The door opened just a little. Mrs. Parker stood there. She looked pale. Her eyes looked tired. She blinked, surprised. "Emma?" she said. "From the bakery?" Emma lifted the umbrella. "You forgot this," she said. Mrs. Parker looked at it, like she had forgotten it existed. Then she reached for it, but her hand shook a little. Emma felt the worry grow. "Are you okay?" Emma asked. "You left so fast." Mrs. Parker looked down for a moment. Then she nodded once, slowly. "I felt dizzy," she said. "It came suddenly. I didn't want to make a scene, so I went home." Emma swallowed. "Did you fall?" she asked. "No," Mrs. Parker said. "I sat for a minute. Then I walked. I was careful." Emma stood in the hallway. She wanted to leave, and she wanted to stay. She chose the smaller, safer thing. "May I come in for 1 minute?" Emma asked. "Just to be sure you are all right?" Mrs. Parker hesitated, then opened the door wider. "All right," she said. 1 minute." The apartment was small and clean. A blanket lay folded on the sofa. A teapot sat on the table. Everything felt quiet, like the air had been holding its breath. Mrs. Parker sat down slowly. Emma sat across from her. "I'm sorry," Mrs. Parker said softly. "I don't like bothering people." Emma shook her head. "You didn't bother me," she said. "I just noticed." Mrs. Parker looked at her hands. "Most people don't," she said. Those words were simple, but they landed hard. Emma took out her phone. "Can I save your number?" she asked. "If you feel dizzy again, you can call." "Or if you need help with something small." Mrs. Parker stared at Emma for a moment, then her eyes softened. "That is very kind," she said. "Yes." Mrs. Parker gave her number. Emma saved it. Emma also sent a short message to Nora. "Mrs. Parker felt dizzy today. She is home now. She is okay." Emma stood to leave. At the door, she turned back. "Thank you for answering," Emma said. "And please don't disappear without your umbrella again." Mrs. Parker gave a small, tired smile. "I will try," she said. The next morning, Emma opened the bakery as usual. She swept the floor. She arranged the bread. But her eyes kept moving to the door and the corner table. 8 o'clock passed, then 8:10. The chair by the window was empty. Emma's chest tightened. Then the door opened. Mrs. Parker stepped inside. She walked slowly but steadily. She held the blue umbrella, even though the sky was clear. Emma felt a quiet relief, like warm water spreading in her chest. Mrs. Parker came to the counter. "Tea," she said, "and a plain roll." Emma smiled. "Of course," she said. Mrs. Parker sat at her corner table. She held her teacup with both hands, as always. Then she looked up at Emma and said, "Thank you for yesterday." Emma nodded. "You're welcome," she said. A man at the next table glanced over. He gave Mrs. Parker a small nod. Mrs. Parker nodded back. Nothing big happened, no loud words, no grand moment. But the bakery felt warmer. Emma understood something that day. You do not need a big plan to do good. You do not need perfect words. Sometimes you only need to notice one small thing and take one small step. Sometimes you only need to return an umbrella. Noticing people is a small act, but it can mean more than you think. Small kindness can open a door. If you like this story, please like and subscribe for more. We make calm, simple English stories for beginners. Thank you for listening.